What would you say is the first step toward change for someone who is looking to improve him or herself?
Define what you want. I was literally just talking to you about this on the phone. What do you want? It's very important to define that. What do you want in your life? Do you want better relationships?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to not be in a depressive state? Do you want to feel better physically? Do you want to achieve something monetarily, or do you want to achieve something that just helps a lot of people, philanthropically? What do you want?
Yeah.
And I think there's a longing in each of us. I think in a Christian sense, it would be a calling.
Yeah.
But if those that are not Christians have that urge and that longing inside of them, we need to pay attention to it. And I think the only way that you're actually going to be able to do it, and I'm just learning about this, James Hollis was on Andrew Huberman's podcast, and he's a psychologist, therapist, and he talks about the need for everyone to sit with themselves at the very least for 15 minutes a day.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do it for 2 15-minute periods, one at the beginning of the day, one at the end of the day, that's optimal. But just allowing time to sit, and this is not a meditative state. This is not a prayerful state. This is just I'm just going to sit and I'm going to think.
Mm.
And people are like, I could do that at any time. Yeah, but you don't. I'm speaking from experience too. As soon as I have a lull in my day, my phone's out. And I'm learning. I might turn on an audiobook, or I'll turn on a podcast, or I'll turn on a YouTube video. But there's very few times, unless I make time for it, where I will just sit and think and pay attention to my thoughts.
I had time to do that today. I sat in traffic today, and I had time to think.
How was that?
And it was really nice. I just had to add that in. It was actually very refreshing. I decided not to get angry about the traffic. And then after that, it was very refreshing. Yeah.
What did you feel like came out of that?
I think I was able to understand myself a little bit better.
Yeah.
Just in that short time.
Yeah.
There's the thoughts that go through your head. You're like, oh, these are the things that I would think about when I'm not having stuff put in my head, or having my kids call for me for help, or whatever it is. And that was nice to just have my own space and have my own thoughts and be able to think about them.
Yeah. There's something so important about you. We kind of know that intuitively. Some people don't believe that because they're depressed.
Right.
And they believe that their life just doesn't matter. But that's the depressive state talking. That's not reality.
Right.
Every single person matters. And there's whatever your beliefs are on this world, there's something that humans are here for, because of the beauty that they create through art, because of the structures that they build through construction, because of all of the things that humans are capable of doing. I think every person has a reason that we're here, and we'll never find that in a corporate job. We'll never find that on TV. We'll never find that listening to podcasts or getting an education at a university. You only can find that by being with you.
Yeah. You
are the thing that is important, and the only way to learn what that thing is to be with yourself.
Yeah.
And we are just trained, especially now from a young age with all the technology available to us, to not be with ourselves, to be with other people constantly, even though we're not physically with a lot of people nowadays and everybody's lonely. We are trained to distract ourselves through TV, through our phones,
or to be efficient. We're taught to be efficient. So
so
time that you're not using is wasted.
Yeah. And that could be a downside of the kind of self-development culture. I'm all about self-development. I want to help people communicate better, have better relationships, and self-develop. But in all of those things, if they become an idol, like when growth becomes the end-all be-all of your life, it can actually be a negative in your life where you're using all of your time to grow or to develop or to utilize that thing that you're growing in. You need to be really careful of that. I see a lot of people that are these kind of biohacking people. And I utilize a lot of the things that they talk about, but they also get to a point where they're filling every second of their day with a thing to optimize, with a thing to make their life better. And just recently I've been seeing, like I said, on the Andrew Huberman podcast, he's a guy that really is looking how to break down all of the things that can affect your mind and, brain health and physical health and all of that. So he's very into the biohacking and supplementation and all of this stuff. And he had this guy on because he sees the need to know himself. And it's through knowledge of ourselves that we can know God. It's through knowledge of ourselves that we can know our purpose. So if you're struggling with purpose, what am I here for? You have to know yourself. And through that knowledge, you'll know your purpose.
Right.
But you have to be able to sit with yourself. And for a lot of people, that's scary. For a lot of people, that requires discipline. It actually requires discipline. Try sitting with yourself in silence for 15 minutes. It is an eternity.
It's hard. I remember you told me this a while back, and just the thought of it sounds amazing to me. I love that. I love quiet. I'm one of those people who I'm happy with quiet, but to just sit there and not do something feels very difficult because for me, it feels like wasted time. Like I can think of all the things that I could get done in 15 minutes. I could fold a load of laundry. I could wash quite a few dishes in 15 minutes. There's a lot of things I could do. And so, yeah, it takes discipline. And for some people, it is scary because their thoughts are
But you're not doing
troubled.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And you're not, the thing to understand about that, it's a lie that sitting there and just thinking is doing nothing.
Right.
And that's what we've been kind of taught, though. Don't waste any time. Time is money. All of these kind of idioms that we put out there.
Right.
It's so important.
Right.
It's maybe the most important that you know yourself, because that will actually lead to success in so many areas of your life.
Right.
Is knowledge of self, not love of self to the degree that it becomes worship of self.
Right.
But knowledge of self so that you can take care of self, so that you can take care of others.
Yes.
Because if there's no self to give, you can't actually
What are you
effectively
giving?
take care of anyone.
Yeah.
So if your thing is, I want to help people, I want to teach people, I want to make something for people, you really need to know yourself to have that self to give to others.
Yeah.
It's very important. So I would say, what do you want? That's how you start developing in any area of your life.
What do you actually want?
What do you actually want? Not, yes, that's a very good point. Not what did my parents, what did my teachers, what did my coworkers, what did my mentors, what did any other person besides myself tell me that I wanted? What do I want?
Yeah.
Very important.
That's good. I'm going to think on that too.